I saw myself slowly slip away as mommy tossed in bed. I thought I heard her say something along the lines of, take away the pain. I couldn't stand upright, so I tried to walk away and maybe find a corner to exchange some fear tears for the situation's place and how I found myself here. It was 2 days before my birthday, and before I had a clear space to think, I heard my name being called, not in a loud voice, but it carried very small, so small, I almost didn't hear it all. And I crawled into the room, and I saw her sitting up for the very first time. I had seen the whole month, and she said that she was proud of the man I grew to be before laying down and then going back to sleep. But it was the same night that we dialed 911 for the very first time. Ambulances down the block, and there we were, watching her being taken in. And for me, it was our last conversation. We lost her to that Christmas Eve call, and I felt the alcohol. Someone watched their daddy fall, and she
saw my daddy fall into a trap of alcohol. I saw him dig his way 6 feet underground. I watched him slowly die, starting from the inside, working his way out. It's poison in a bottle. One sip could take your last breath away. And it soon gets hard to handle. Oh, when the whiskey starts to take away the pain. I saw my mama cry herself to sleep at night, scared of a stranger in her bed. I knew she wanted out, but she stayed in that house, taking every word he said. Oh, poison in a bottle. One sip could take your last breath away. Gets hard to handle. Yeah, when the whiskey starts to take away the pain. Oh, and I wonder where I'd be if I was more important than a bottle of Jack in the morning. And when that's him in that house to be with his true love, but when that love ran out, you go another round, go another round, oh. It's poison in a bottle. One sip could take your last breath away. And it soon gets hard to handle. Oh, when the whiskey starts to take away the pain. You win another round, you win another round, go, go.
keep going. Back to the first verse.
I saw my daddy fall into a trap of alcohol. I saw him dig his way 6 feet underground.
Still war in the still waters with a broader mind. Their mischievous adolescent daughters overtime, cracking down, sniffing up the arts like a poet's line. Shakespeare looks like he's doing overtime. And the things that I fear don't form in the flesh and blood, although it's kind of scary depending on who you're thinking of. I've seen people paint monsters who are monsters themselves and never suspect the sick they're dripping with in a pill. The situation is filled with a beast saliva, They say that they were hungry, but they can't even kill a bill. And that's even speaking volumes. Without the thrill of trilogies, you couldn't even get past the sequel. And know that I seek thrill by using a deep quill. I write with all the intent of murderous birds, murdering words, and when together they work to murder your curves. I'm desensitized, X's burden my nerves. Now I look at the world completely different first. I realize that you can cry and they won't even hear your verse. You hold up the Bible high and you tell them you want the purge. Please resurface your mind soon after you submerge. I'm more than a sharp tongue and a fierce swing. Slay man, I'm 50 shades of shadow and I'm 50 shades of gray man. I'm 50 types of all the white lights on the stage, man, conflicting all in the simple language, caveman. Arms are going missing, unexplained, like Rayman, and too many of y'all are judging me like you made man. Step back, let me dip a chalice in your palace with a river steady run of all the malice that you Alice in the Wonderland. Never ever minded what you set to stand, but I mind minds like a brainstorm. Weatherman, weather can be a tricky story, so you better land. Ground yourself like a fly gone in the desert sand, like a maniac with a better plan. He who sits high with a humble mind abides in a better pride land. We get inspired by other writers like lighting torches. Winter for your mind, but still inside the field scorches. Leaving leaves loose like fall and autumn are both cordless. I keep it hot eternally like a lost motress. Legendary similes are necessary. Punchlines with extra fury. Cold worlds with extra flurries. Subtract the sub-zero in the abstract. When I'm heartbroken, I freeze all the knees that you crack. Yeah. Count the candles as they wither and die, leaning with the weakness of 1,000 cries, dripping with the intentions of 1,000 lives. The wax nails down the stick, almost purposely choosing its own path to sit. And the line is descent with the familiar crypt. Cup then crashed, then table, then split. And somewhere close, her eyes were fixed from where she knelt to where she lived, inhaling the essence of her lover's scent, certainly keeping the parchment bent slightly so the shadows couldn't trail the wall. And still, what was left from the last lover's call, nothing's quite but an evening's eye, leaping across the countryside, jaded, her last love letter signed before falling asleep and closing her eyes to find her eyes open behind that fence and find a breath of mortality spent. Arms in arms, she armed all along, alas, cradled by her last lover's song. Arms in arms, she armed all along, alas, cradled by her last lover's song. I saw myself slowly slip away as Mommy tossed in bed. I thought I heard her say something along the lines of, take away the pain. I couldn't stand upright, so I tried to walk away and maybe find a corner to exchange some fear tears for the situations, place, and how I found myself here. It was 2 days before my birthday and before I had a clear space to think. I heard my name being called, not in a loud voice, but it carried very small, so small, I almost didn't hear it all. And I crawled into the room and I saw her sitting up. For the very first time I had seen the whole month, and she said that she was proud of the man I grew to be before laying down and then going back to sleep. But it was that same night that we dialed #1 for the very first time. Ambulances down the block, and there we were, watching her being taken in. And for me, it was our last conversation. We lost her with that Christmas Eve call, and I felt the alcohol someone watched her daddy fall.
Trap of alcohol. I saw him dig his way 6 feet underground. Damn.